Hello, everyone. Welcome to our show, Listen to Young Minds. And in fact, today I should say hello to all the parents. Parents, if you are having teenager kids at your home, so this particular episode is going to be blockbuster for all of you because our today's guest, she is a teenager girl, and she is means I'm feeling that I should not call her a teenager because her achievements and her age there is no match in that. She is going to discuss in detail about that what challenges teenagers are facing, how they are managing their time, and how they are coping up with the pressure of studies and extracurricular activities. It would be not exaggerating if I call that girl that she's a wonder girl. She manages so many things. And you will feel just delighted to listen that conversation because that is straight from the heart. So, without a further delay, I am just calling the guest of this show today, and her name is Miss Ridhima. Okay, so hello everyone. As I was telling you about our today's guest, don't look at her face, don't go by her age because as I told you, her age and her achievements doesn't match. There is no match in that. And before I'm going to start today's topic, today's discussion, Ridhima, first of all, welcome to this show. And before we discuss about today's topic, that is the teenagers challenge, I want you to introduce everyone about yourself so that everyone feels comfortable and they are not looking at your age, rather they are just looking at the content. So please introduce yourself.
I'm Ridhma Mangal, and presently I'm studying in ninth standard. I'm 14 years old, and especially I'm a teen. So,
Yes, okay. Ridhima, as I know you was sharing with me earlier, yet you are doing many things.
yeah.
Definitely, I'm going to discuss these things slowly and gradually in all the questions. But if you can throw little about what are your extracurricular things which you are doing currently.
Currently, I'm a classical dancer. Well, it's a part of my hobby,
And how
and
long you are learning dance?
yeah,
How long you are learning? Since how
uh,
many?
like it's about uh, almost 11 years I've
And you
been
are
learning.
14 now?
Yeah.
Yeah, please continue.
So it's basically it is a long journey where I'm in the sixth year, and when I look back in my past, I see that there are plenty of things I've learned in my life, and that's not really common for someone to learn. Like everyone have their own experiences about life. So yeah, basically many of things I can't share. But other than I used to journal a lot. Like I'm having a traveling journal, and my parents are one who are a travelholic, I would say. They travel a lot. So with them, I've traveled the world, and I understood, like, I saw many different ideas, people about the culture, tradition. And I think that's really good if you promote your own tradition culture. That's what I'm promoting too, being a classical dancer. And other than there are many things like I used to play chess, and I'm a Bacchus graduate. So yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Oh my God. If I call it this is a that's it. So now I believe everyone you will understand that why I give that specific introduction to all of you about Ritima. She is telling that she has learned a lot in her life and she's just 14. So please note this statement that in her life, which is just 14 years till now. Ridhima, that's so wonderful introduction you are giving. Now, because I know that you are doing so many things,
Yeah.
and when you are doing so many things, and I know that you have learned so many things in past so many years, definitely. So I want to ask you the first basic questions that when you are doing these things, so what is the role of emotions here? Now you are 14. So recently you have seen a shift in your age that is from a child to a teenager. So
Yeah.
when you are shifted to a teenager, and definitely you are having bundles of emotions inside you. So what do you think? What are those specific emotions which are helping you to cope up with all these things and your time management? And is there any emotion you are feeling which is stopping you to have your time management? So I want to know both the things, the plus and the minus, the positive and the negative. ऐसी कौन सी चीजें हैं जो आपको हेल्प करती हैं और ऐसी कौन सी चीजें हैं जो आपको लगता है कि नो, इफ आई एम हैविंग दिस इमोशन सो आई एम नॉट एबल टू कोप अप? आई जस्ट वांट टू नो फ्रॉम यू.
See, okay. Before answering, can I ask you a question?
Yeah, sure.
What comes to your mind first when you listen or you just speak the word teen?
Whenever the word teen comes, there are two different sides. Teen means a transition from irresponsible to the maturity, a transition from a child who totally dependent on the parents towards a phase when there is and I should not say it's a child, there is a person who is just emerging to stand up as a confident person, taking more responsibility, giving more opinions, feeling more authority in the family, considering himself or herself as a responsible family members. That is the face of teenager in front of me.
Well, you're absolutely right. But when I ask this question from my peers or from other people, what they have, oh, it's the backdrop of emotions. No, it's not true. See, whenever I used to ask from my peers or from other people that what comes to your mind first when you listen the word teen, they used to say, oh, it's an emotional backdrop. No, not everything is having an emotional backdrop. There are pros and cons too of something. So basically, if I talk about the advantages of it, if I talk about the advantages, so there is peer pressure on someone, and that helps them to regulate themselves, to utilize the time. Like for example, uh, if you are in a class and there are 30 students around you,
Okay.
and you ask your friend that have you completed your syllabus, and there's just 15 days left for exam. So what they would say, yeah, I have completed all my syllabus. Some would say that I have also done the revision thrice, twice, and like, but I can experience that. When I was in a competition, and that was an international competition, and there was just 20 days left for my exams. I came to Gwalior, and just 20 days after I was having my exam. So my parents stated me that it's okay. You see, you have 20 days, you can utilize that time. And there was a lot of peer pressure also. Like, we have done all the things. So, if there is peer pressure, if you take that effectively, being a strong minded person, you would utilize the time effectively. You would utilize yourself in the correct manner. But with an average or low minded person, they would start panicking. What they would think, oh, we are just having 20 days. I have to complete the syllabus. And in that pace, they just lag behind. So I think that peers should understand, or the teens should understand that what's important in their life. They should categorize their effectiveness. Other than, there are a lot many things, like on the basis of career, for example. If you ask from majority of the students of 9th or 10th standard, what they would say, I have to become an engineer, a doctor, a lawyer, or a commerce student. That is the most common answer I've ever got. Honestly, like even in the parties, when I ask my peers or my friends that what you're gonna have in 11th, what subject would you prescribe? They say, I'm gonna be a doctor, science student. But it's not like, even the elders also used to ask, are you going to take science or maths? They're not just two subjects. So
True, Pratima.
teens should understand that it's not just if the society is saying to you that be like that way, they are not going to be you. You're you. You see, you have your own emotions, you have your own beliefs and thoughts. They would impose, but you should be strong about that. You should think about yourself first. You have to be selfish at times, and even it happens in a regular routine too. If, like for example, if you're writing You are completing your work, and your friends ask from you, can you please give me your notebook? I have to copy the question. Most of the teens, what they do, yeah, please take it, complete your work. But you haven't completed your work. Now you should first complete your work, then you should give to your friend. But no, we would be the lifesavers of everyone. But that's not the reality. So you have to be selfish at times. You have to think about yourself first, because they are not your future. You are the future of yourself. You are going to be the mirror of yourself. So that's what important is. And also, there's a support also from parents and friends. That is common. Like, there's a lot of emotional balance in the life of peers. And even my mentors, my teachers, my parents, by their own, they say that parents are the best friends of your life. They're gonna remain till the end of your life, and they are the only one, okay, in the life who wants better, who wants you to be better, who wants you to be happy. So you should think about them. You should take advices from them. Maybe at sometimes they're wrong about you. They don't know your talent. They don't know your effectiveness, because they want the best for you, no? So you should listen to them first and take your decisions. So I would say that teenage is of course an imbalance, but if you're with the people who love you, who want you to be the best, who want best for you, you are successful in your teenage, because they are going to help you.
Wonderful, Ridhima, wonderful. And in fact, there are few pointers which I have picked up from your replies, which was very good. Like when you was telling that the situation remains the same, the peer pressure remains the same. But it is up to you that how you are perceiving it. Are you taking it as a pressure? Are you taking it as a challenge? You know, I have to do this. That's a
Yeah.
wonderful point which you are quoting here. So, in the similar manners, the emotion will be there. That's a biological phenomena that once you are shifting from one age group to different age group, there would be certain biological shift inside your body, and you have to accept it. You have to respect it, rather than cribbing and crying about that and making a hue and cry
Yeah.
about that. You have to give respect to yourself first. That is a very important point. Beautifully, you have explained with lots of examples. And honestly, I was listening each and every word, and I was not able to believe that I'm listening everything from just a 14 years old girl. Unbelievable, Ridhima. So now I will ask you more questions because I know that you will answer so many tough questions as well. So Ridhima, one of the important thing which I want to ask you here, that whenever it comes to balancing, because I know that you have reached to that stage, maybe because you are having good mentors with you, good teachers, the support system. But just tell me that not only you, the others, your friends around you, what you have seen with them, ki what they are feeling when it comes to balancing their emotions and just coping up with their time management. How do you see the other kids, not only you, but other kids around you? What common challenges they are facing? क्या लगता है उनको कि नहीं हो पा रहा मुझसे? So have you seen any such kind of cases with yourself and with others, maybe your friends?
Yeah, there are many. You see, when you are at the teenage, like I'm in the ninth standard, so there is a pressure on me, even on the ninth standard kids, that next year you're going to be in 10th standard, you're going to have your board exams. That's the most common thing I'm listening right now. Like,
Ridhima,
you're
I
gonna,
also listened it in my 10th standard, that thing.
that you're gonna have your boards next year, you should prepare well, right? So yeah, they're right. Of course, we are gonna have boards. That is the main thing. That's the degree of our academic that will remain whole our life. But grades are not everything. Of course, it's not. You have watched Three Idiots. You saw that grades are not everything. Knowledge is the main bank you want in your life. So, well, in my peers, what I saw that they are very much, conscious about their career. especially about their career, and they used to waste their times in they used to waste their time in social media, having a chill time with friends. That's not necessary. You see, when you're like, for example, you're having a cupboard and you want to add some good clothes, some new clothes to it. First of all, what you have to do, you have to take the old clothes out from the shelf to place the new clothes that are unnecessary, that you don't need in your life anymore. So that is the thing, you see. What the peers do, what the teens do, they just like social media is not necessary in your life. Of course, it's not. It will be necessary maybe in the future life to have your social life. It's really common, but not at this current age. And the second thing, we are gonna have sleepless nights. We are going to have sleepless nights. We have to study the whole night. We don't want to have a meal a day. We just have to live in our free way. That's not important, you see. If you actually a teen, you have to understand what's important in your life. Having a meal, having a good diet, having a correct sleep plan, a correct sleep routine, it's really important, because you are going to have a lot of energy the next day to utilize in your work. But what they do, they waste it. They just waste their whole energy. Like my friends, I I have my personal phone, but I'm not having any kind of Instagram, Snapchat on my phone, not even Facebook. It's just I have WhatsApp where I used to get the notes or send notes to my friends or for some like competition or something. That kind of stuff. Only it's being used for that. But what my friends, they used to only accomplish the task that's not necessary. The challenges that are not necessary. For example, they used to be on social media, on Instagram. They used to have Snapchat in their phones, and what they call me, you're a boring buddy, you're a bookish girl, you just have books, you just have your hobbies, nothing much more. So I say them that because it's important in my life that I'm going to pursue in future. So of course I have to keep that in my shelf, no? But social media is not necessary in my shelf right now. I have to put it away. And other than
Wonderful.
what they see in their life, they just have a bad time management, most of the teens. Like for example, you have to board bus at 7 o'clock. What they do, we are gonna wake up at 6:30. By the time we would get ready, because we hadn't slept at night. So
Does it
yeah, that's what
happen,
we have
Ridhima,
to
with
do.
your friends?
Yeah, that's really common in teen because I have experienced it. Maybe at your times it would have been different because you had strict parents.
No, no. At our time there was no social media, no?
Yeah, of course, that was it. But in our times, it's really different. I feel that because that's really common. Nowadays, it's like every kid is on social media.
True, Ridhima. I'll just add, definitely, you have highlighted many good pointers that there is no space for this particular stuff in my shelf, in my cupboard. That's a beautiful example you have given, that I have to decide that what would be my wardrobe. I have to decide that what would be in my shelf. So
Yeah,
currently there is no space for that. But later on, definitely, eventually, gradually, I'll create the space for that stuff. And I will decide कि मुझे कितना space create करना है. I need a big space or I need a small space. That I will decide. That's a beautiful thing. But yes, though we are doing a discussion, so we are not saying, neither I nor you are saying that anything is bad. Excessive use of anything is bad. If
yeah,
you are mindfully doing social media, if you are mindfully spending your time on social media, then some platforms are really very good and they are giving you a good stuff as well. But mindlessly scrolling the just reels and shorts, yes, that's a challenge. So, Radhima, one important thing, when you are mentioning this point that there are many teenagers, kids, and teenager students who are doing this, and you are able to manage this stuff more wisely. Definitely, that is, I'm not saying that there is no contribution from your side, there is a contribution from your side as well. But I want to know that what is the contribution in deciding all these things by parents and by teachers? How the parents and teachers are guiding you? What is their role when it comes to managing your emotions and managing your time? Your means I'm asking in context of whole teenagers community.
So, first of all, parents should understand what is the real meaning of teenage. Because
My
you see,
God, parents should understand. Parents, please listen this. You should understand. Please continue.
when it comes to teenage, like it's a conversation between the parents and the kid. They are majority of the parents, they used to talk or converse with the children or with the child in an investigating manner. What
On
you
an
have done?
authoritative manner.
Yeah, really. And that's not good. You see, if you're having a conversation with someone, you should have an exchange of ideas. For example, if they are telling you something, you should also tell them something about yourself. So it would be a good conversation. Other than, they could support them by making the routine for the child by themselves, like for stating them, by advising them. Of course, most of the teens, they are not going to listen about their parents, that their parents going to say about them, because what they think most of the times, parents do not understand what we think. So it comes from the first step by understanding, by creating a bond. Most of the parents, what they say, we are afraid of you, you see, we are afraid of you, you can share anything. But that not gonna happen. You have to spend time with them. Like, if you want to have that tag that we are friends, first you have to spend time, a lot of time like friends do. And second, you have to converse with them in a very polite and calm manner, like you don't care about that stuff. You're just listening and you're having a conversation with them. Other than, they should support them, like the mentors and the teachers especially, they should consult them in a very free manner, like not judging them, that, oh, you really want to have that in your life, that's not good, that's bad. Like, in my class, my friend, she's very good at, like, art. She's having very good artistic skills. She's like really good artist in like painting stuff. She's really good. But when we are gonna have a consultation with the teachers, what the teachers say, that's not a stable career for you. You see, opting something that's really stable is good. Yeah, of course that's good, because how would you want something? How would you gonna live if you don't have any kind of money? But if you're not happy, there's no seeing, there's no sense of money, you see. So what's important for them, to advise them in a correct manner by consulting them, or there could be many like programs, there could be some strategies like orientation programs for the kids. Like in our school, we had one. So that's important in life.
Wow. Ridhima, no doubt, earlier when you started speaking for this particular point, then I was feeling that it's a parents bashing class. And parents, please listen that these are the replies of a teenager girl. Means it feels so heartening to listen that they want that they should be understood. They should be listened properly. So definitely, it's a moral, ethical responsibility of the parents that rather than thinking that our child is just a child, we should understand that they are growing. They are also having the bunch of emotions inside them, the bunch of ideas inside them, and we need to let them flow out. Beautiful, Ridhima. And now, because you are observing the things so minutely, so critically, so I just want to know from your side as well that you are seeing that how teens and definitely you are handling the emotions, and you are seeing that how adults are handling the same things. Okay, for example, if I say anger, तो एक टीनेजर बच्चे को भी गुस्सा आ सकता है और एक एडल्ट को भी गुस्सा आ सकता है, ठीक है. So there could be emotions are same, the joy, anger, hatred, envy, jealous, emotions are same. But how the way a teenager is handling those emotions and how a way its adult is handling those emotions. The first thing, do you feel that there is any difference the way they both handles their emotion? And if yes, अगर आपने वो difference कहीं observe किया है, तो आपको क्या लगता है कि whose way is better? Adults are handling better their emotions or teens are handling, and who need to learn from whom? And what is the, और या कोई एक ऐसा बीच का तरीका है so that they both need to sit together, exchange their notes so that they both can understand that yes, this is a way to handle the things.
Hmm.
I
Okay.
know I'm asking very difficult questions.
No, no, it's see, I really feel from my side that there is a lot of difference. There's a huge difference. But as you said that there is a midway too, you see. But see, if you see a child, a small child, he or she is playing with their own stuff. They're happy with themselves. But when it comes to adults, what they want something in their life what others have. Whereas a teen doesn't want that. They just want to be happy. Like kids, if you're in a transitional period, sometimes you have to be a child. You have to be a child that what we have, it's good. We are happy with ourselves. So the adults should understand, should learn that from the teens. They're happy on their own. And with something like adults can manage the pressure very well, even the anger. They could control it. They could understand, they could advise someone else that how to understand, how to conjure something. But when it comes to teens, they just, most of the times, they panic. Although, see, stress is very good in life because it pressurized you to do something that's important. But over of something like excessive of pressure, it's not good. Even the excessive of stress, it can make you anxious about something that's not really important. So teens should understand what others are advising and suggesting. It's not bad. It's sometimes it's right too. They should understand that thing. And even the adults should understand that if they're controlling their anger, if they're controlling their emotions, so sometimes they have to be happy with their own stuff too. If they aren't, so there would be like, oh, my neighbor bought that. I also want that. That car, that kind of car, that kind of sofa. We have a big list. Humans have a tendency. Once their one wish is completed, they have the other two. So it's not like you have money, you have emotions, you have something, you want to have something, you have wish to, but you can't flood it over. Like I want to have that too because my neighbor is having or my friend is having. Even when you're in a maturing stage, like inside of teen, they don't want to save any sort of money. They don't want to save any money. Like if they got the pocket money from their parents, what they just do, oh, I'm gonna buy this stuff. That's really good. It's I can do that because it's the money. I have the money, I can buy that. But if you save that money for your future or for investing in something that's really good for yourself, like for your studies. Like I used to also save some of the money for my books, for something like for my competitions, for my journal, for my stuff to buy. That's important in my life. So I used to save that. Although, yeah, of course, I used to spend that too, but not like in a flooding manner. I have money, I'm gonna empty that. I'm not going to save the money because it's not mine. You don't know the value of earning the money. But as you grow up, you have struggle in your life, you will realize that value. So better realize it this time in the transitional period because you see when you are a teen, you don't only have the education, but actually you're gonna have the responsibilities too. You should understand, like eventually, I'm not saying that all of a sudden you should have all the responsibilities on yourself. You should not burden yourself, but gradually you should understand what is the future responsibilities you're gonna have. in the life. And others should understand that you should be happy in your own stuff. If you have something, you be happy, because you see the other people, you see that others are having more than you, but there are many people who are not having that much stuff also that you are having at this time, at that pace. So that's what important.
Ridhima, I'm not feeling that I'm talking to a teenager. My God, a lot of stuff you are having to speak. And the words which you are using, the stress, anxious, means I feel so surprised sometimes at how the teenagers are listening these words. Oh my God, what is stress? What is anxiety? And seriously, honestly, that whenever I'm listening these words from a teenager, which is quite often nowadays, undoubtedly. So, your this word, in fact, is giving me one question. Though you are talking about stress and anxiety, that you would have definitely seen. That's why you are using this word, that teenagers are having stress. And when it comes to stress with the teenagers, definitely I'm not talking about the financial stress, because many childs are blessed and they are not struggling with the financial stress. But yes, the kind of stress the teens are facing, which I have also seen nowadays, that they have to cope up with their school activities, their studies. They have the peer pressure from their friends and from the society, that they have to do the extracurricular activities, they have to be good at social parties, they have to present themselves well, they should have a good social life as well. Like you are also telling that your friend sometimes tells you that you are just reading your books, you are not active on social media. So that is the kind of stress the teenagers are having nowadays, कि मुझे ये भी करना है, मुझे ये भी करना है, मुझे ये भी करना है. And I have to be good in front of everyone. I have to be good with my parents, I have to be good with my friends, I have to be good in front of my teachers as well. So इतना सारा ये जो स्ट्रेस है ना, इतना सारा ये जो प्रेशर है, कोई टिप्स है तुम्हारे पास कि हाउ अदर्स किड्स, बिकॉज आई नो यू आर मैनेजिंग वेल, यू हैव डिसाइडेड द शेल्फ इन योर कबर्ड, बट हाउ अदर किड्स, any tips if you can give, that kaise, how other kids can have that, or how you come to that stage where you are managing each and everything so nicely, so meticulously. So any strategies, any formulas, any mantras you have?
See, I have one. Like for
Oh,
example,
great.
okay, okay. Have you seen a jar? Jar. Okay. So there's a mantra like put, you should describe your activities into three different eras. Like first is your stone, second is a pebble, and third is the sand. So stone is the most important activities that you want in your daily life for the time management. Second is the pebbles, that they are not really much necessary but still important in your life. They are playing a bit crucial role. And third is the sand, that's nevertheless necessary in your life. You don't actually want them in your life. If they are not, so there's no like there's no change in your life. So many of the teens, what they do, they just keep the sleep, the diet, and first of all, like what they do, they just pick the limelight in front of everyone. Like you said, they want to be presentable, they want to look beautiful, right? So what they do, they put that in the stone. That's important. Limelight is really important. If others are paying attention on us, so that's really good.
Hmm.
But or what they do, they just pick the sleep, the diet, and their important activities into pebbles. But actually there's be an exchange of the ideas of the activities. You should put the limelight into the pebbles because it's important. Of course, in front of teachers, in front of people, you want to get attention. Even the adults also want to get attention. They want attention from everyone. But if you're attentive about your own self, first you should discover, you should explore yourself. Like many of the people, they don't know what they have to do in life, what they have to be in the future. What they just do, they just listen to the teachers, to the mentors. Yeah, yeah, you should do this, there is a good way for that. But no, what you think is way more important. And sleeping, having a healthy diet, is very much important in your life. If you're not gonna have that, how would you live? You see, what they do, they just want to have the attention. And secondly, what they do, they just put the sleep, the healthy diet in the pebbles. But that's not important. You see, what for them, that's not important. Having sleep or having a good diet. But you should put them in the stones category, because if you're not gonna have that, how would you live? You can't manage yourself. Other than those, like, what we students do in the educational part, we just make the timetable, a time routine, a plan for us. But most of us don't follow that routine what we make. Like,
Yes.
I made my timetable for the study routine, but I didn't follow it. Honestly,
What you
for the
do?
yeah, for the first week I didn't follow it. So my mentor said me, you should follow it. You see, because it's important. If you had made something as a part of your routine, you should apply on that. Like in the starting, when I bought my parents got me a new cycle, so I thought every Sunday in the morning I'm gonna ride that cycle for at least 1 hour. But I didn't do that. On every Sunday,
I
I
like
used
this
to,
honesty, first of all, that I didn't do that. Okay.
yeah, I didn't do that. I do not follow that one thing in my life still now. So if you're making some plan, if you're making a routine, a timetable, you should you should keep a promise with yourself that I'm gonna follow it. कुछ भी हो जाए, धरती आसमान टूट जाए, कुछ भी हो, I have to follow that, and that's what important.
Very nice, Riddhima. And undoubtedly, there are many important pointers which you are telling, that it is very important that you need to decide what is your stone, you need to decide what is your pebble. And one very good thing, I'll just try to repeat from your answer only, that you are telling that the good sleep, the good diet, and the physical activity, these should always be in your stone category, as you are telling, because you are doing everything for your physical fitness. You are a Kathak classical dancer, so it required lots of physical stamina. So, physical activity, sleep, and diet. These are the three important pillars because these will build your life further. So, definitely, one should never compromise on that thing. Yeah, little compromise on cycling part, which you are telling, it's okay, but not on these three stones because these are the foundations. So, Ridhima, no doubt I have many things to ask you, but as you are telling a lot about the guidance, the mentorship, so undoubtedly you are getting a good amount of guidance, a good amount of mentorship. But as a whole, in a nutshell, do you think that you can give, like you have given a very good advice to the kids, to the teenagers, that how they can handle the pressure by separating their stones and pebbles? But can you give some advice to parents? Because see, what happens, why I'm asking this, sometimes we as a parents, we are not able to see the other side of the coin. But you as a teen, you can see. So, what do you think, that what advice you want to give to parents and to the guardians, probably to the teachers community you can also involve, so that they are working as a helping hand to the teenagers? Many times, because what happened, I have seen teenagers started building a difference from their parents.
Hmm.
The moment they are keep on growing in their age, they feel ki no, no, as you also said, ki parents will not understand because there is certain age gap. So क्या लगता है आपको कि what advices as a teenager you want to give to the parents and to the teachers so that they are able to support the teenagers in a desired manner, जैसा आप लोगों को चाहिए हम वैसे आपको support कर पाए. So what is your advice?
Uh, I think that first of all, the parents, as I said, they should understand. But after understanding, there's a big process. There's a big cycle, huge cycle of that particular thing. So after spending time with the kids or with the children, if they are not able to place themselves, if they're not able to understand the child, even that, so what they should do, they should first of all interact with their friends. They can interact with their friends, because everyone is having different ideas. I'm having different ideas, my peers, my friends, they must be having different ideas about that particular stuff. So they should first culminate the idea that what's important for their friends too. Like if their friends are experiencing the same thing, so they should understand that it's a common era, it's a common circle. For example, there is a lot of emotional imbalance in the teenager's life. In a teenager's life, like I'm also experiencing it. My parents, they are very much mature, they know everything, but on my side, I'm not that much mature. I used to make silly mistakes even in my life. So to understand what
Whenever
their
you use
life.
the word life, then I thought that, oh my God, she's just 14 years and she's telling, I have made so many mistakes in my life. So your life has just started. You will make many mistakes.
You see, as you said, that age, you listen that word, that age is just a number. Everyone is different. I'm just different. Being a single child, my parents raised me truly different from the other kids. My upbringing is different. They made me understand what are the main values of life. Because being a teen, what you're gonna build this time, it will remain till the end of your life. You can change it, but in very rare circumstances that gonna change. Your personality will remain the same as you're gonna build this time. So parents have to think about their own past, how they dealt with that certain thing when they were of the same age. But as we grow up, we just forget about everything what we had in our past. Like we have beautiful memories, but we don't keep the memories that are important for our child in the future. Like we don't understand that, yeah, we have also dealt with the same thing, so we should make ourselves, like we should place ourselves in the same situation and try to understand that how a kid must be feeling. So of course it's not very important for them to place if they are very good with the interaction, and that's not easy. You can't just be like, you can't feel that emotions, you can't even understand that, like in a rapid manner. Like if your child says that I am having an emotional backdrop in my life, first, as a parent or a guardian, what they would do, they would think about a lot. They would think a lot about, yeah, my child must be having this certain problem, or they must be judging their child like, you did that, but what's the reason behind it, what they are feeling at a certain age. There's a hormonal disbalance, and most of the time if there's a biological disbalance in their life, so they should think that it's a part of their like biological cycle. They can't control it. I can't control my emotions right now, but maybe in the future I would build that thing in myself, that yeah, I would control my feelings, I would understand what is right, what is bad. Even now, teens do not know what is actually right and what is actually bad. How, what is important, I said, plenty of times I've said what is important, they don't know. So the parents, the mentors, they must understand that a child is dealing with certain problem, so they must tell them what is right or what is wrong in their own manner, and make them understand it through experiences. What you experience in your life, you never forget that. So their experiences must be in certain manner that they would never forget, and even when it will the future generation, like their own kids, their kids would be having their own kids. So they must be teaching in the same manner, in a same polite, understandable manner. They should also accept that they are teens, they are having it. It's pretty common. Even my parents also stated me the same thing. You're a teen, you're gonna have that. We can't stop it, even you can't stop it. So don't think about it a lot. Just focus on the things which you want.
Ridhima, wonderfully you have explained this. I was before asking this question, I thought twice in my mind whether I should ask this or not. But you have done 200% justice with this question. One very important thing which you have quoted now, that whenever parents are just correlating the situation with their stories, and when they are narrating the same stories to their child, that yes, that's quite common, rather than making it a taboo, they are just telling that it's common, it happens with everyone. That's a phenomena which has to happen. That's a emotional bundles of things which has to happen with you. So there is nothing abnormal. The moment they say, I believe this small thing to the child feels, oh, thank God, everything is happening with me. That's normal. That is bound to happen. Now I need to understand how to handle it. So nothing abnormal is happening with me. That's a beautiful thing. Ridhima, I know there are many things, but I will just end this conversation just asking you one simple thing. Like you are telling about, there are many workshops which are happening in your school, but probably there would be many teenagers or many students, they would not be finding such workshops in their school, probably. So, can you share if you have any access of such things, that any resources, any platforms where you are finding this stuff, or you are finding only in the school or through the parents? From where you are finding all such kind of resources or the programs which can help the teenagers to specifically manage their emotions, and definitely so that they can cope up well with their time management. If
Yeah,
you
so
have any information, you can share about it.
yeah, like I've researched it. So there are certain programs like UNICEF. So it's an international body. There are
Yeah.
many Indian and international bodies that work on it. So they're having many programs even in our cities too, like the WHO, World Health Organization. In 1997 or 1999, it launched programs for the adolescents to understand that what they're going through, it's pretty common, it's pretty obvious, and they can deal with it. They build up the confidence in them to deal with the teen, to deal with the pressure. Because most of the times, what they lag behind, what the teens lack, they have a lacking in their emotions and even in the confidence. They are
True.
not confident at all about how to handle the situations, how to cope up with the worst of situations, even if it's happening. So they build that certain thing. Most of the time, when I used to discuss with the mentors and say that this World Health Organization also working on it, so they think World Health Organization is about the health. How it's gonna work with mental status, like the mental backdrops. So you see, adolescence is not just a physical transition, it's also a mental transition too. So,
True.
our body is having two main eras. First is the physical, and the second is the mental. Most of the time, we just used to think about the physical endurance. We don't think about the mental status too. And World Health Organization, it's a pretty common name. We all know. So there are certain programs, even online, offline too, in our country. So we should go through that.
Wow. Wonderful. That's a very good information which you are sharing, Ridhima. And the last point which you have touched upon, that's a very important aspect. You talked about the mental health. Yes, that's a word which nowadays at least we have started speaking about, but there are many kids, many in fact teenagers, and many adults in fact. They are not even using this word mental health, because the moment the word mental health comes, they feel there is something abnormal with them. And we just forget that health is a combination of physical, mental, emotional, and spiritual, all the four components. And probably that is the lacuna which we are having in our system. I'm not blaming anyone or any system or any process. But yes, probably these are the vacuums, or these are the fill in the blanks which needs to be filled, so that we are talking to our kids, we are talking to our children in a holistic manner, in a wholesome manner. That health
Yeah.
is, it's all about everything. So Rhythm, I'm feeling so happy to discuss all these pointers. I was not expecting that You will go in such a deep in all these topics, in all these answers and everything, because usually the kids, they are more into the academics. Whenever it comes to confidence building, the time management, the emotional handling, they are not talking about it. I'll not blame the kids because they are not having exposure of these things, and it needs lot of courage, lot of guts to speak in front of everyone. I mean, to come online and to speak on these topics. So that's a commendable thing which you have done. And whatever information you have shared in the last, I will definitely give all the information for all the kids and all the teenagers in the description so that they can also get benefited. And though you are not on social media, but I wish that you come on various platforms, share all the knowledge, share all the experience which you are having, and create a little space in your shelf for your this sharing time. Because whatever you are having, if you start sharing with the world, so that would be probably your contribution in making the others' lives better. And that I
Yeah.
can see in your conviction, the way you are replying to each and everything. That conviction is there in your voice. So that's what I can say, Ridhima. Any final message, any feeling, any words, any final statements from your side before we are closing this?
Yeah, I feel that teens, they must be confident. Although they are doing bad, they are not happy with their life, but they should be confident and they should be happy that they should keep a mantra with them. All it's happening, even if it's happening a bad one, if they're not happy with their life, it's for a good thing. Life, we say now that life itself is a lesson. If we are having a life and we are enduring it, at the end of the time, we are gonna have a lesson. Every day teaches us a lesson. Although it's good or bad, doesn't matter. But life itself is a lesson. So they should understand if it's something happening bad, first of all, they should consult with their parents. Yeah, parents are not your good friends at that pace. You don't want them to be your friend. You just want them to advise you. So yeah, it happens. Most of the time parents have the same thing. We are your friends, we're gonna help. But that's true. They're gonna help. They want best for you. So you should consult with them. And if you can't, so at the end of the day, before sleeping, just say that I had a bad day, but it is a lesson for me.
Yeah.
So I have to keep with me.
Wonderful, Ridhima, wonderful. And that is a conversation which I'm feeling it should never end. I should keep on asking and you should keep on replying to all my questions for everyone whosoever is listening. But at the end, I would just like to say one thing, that if anyone, if any of you kids, teenager, parents, teachers, anyone, if you are feeling inspired by this little talk of few minutes which we just had now, and if you feel that yes, now you also want to share your views, so you can write to us. And I believe very soon I'm going to see Ridhima on various platforms sharing her views, so probably you can connect with her as well. And I can see a mentor in her as well, so probably she will be ready to mentor you people as well. And that's it from my side, Ridhima. Thank you for sparing quality time and giving a lot of wonderful information, true insights from a teenager's perspective. Whatever you have said it by heart, and that's really important for parents, for society to listen, to understand, to imbibe. Thank you, Ridhima. Thanks a lot for this wonderful conversation.